You're doing well. And we are excited tonight to have, first off, my name is Tim Dixon. I'm the Executive Associate Athletic Director for Development. And we are excited tonight to have our official Meet the Team, meet our baseball team. While the big leaguers are locked out and fighting about money and we're not sure when they're going to get going, these guys are absolutely ready to go. And and things are going to kick off on Friday. So we're super excited to hear from them and see them out on the field. And so I will get this show started, and I'll turn it over to our host, Zack Bayrouty. Zack?
Thanks, Tim, and thanks everyone for being here. Thanks to the baseball team for showing up. Great to have you with us for another baseball Meet the Team event. It's crazy. I was preparing for this today, and I feel like we literally just done this. I can't believe it's been a year, and when we're into another baseball season. But here we are, and like Tim said, I think every bit of baseball that we get is going to be just savored, especially before Major League Baseball gets going, and Pacific Baseball being no exception. We're going to hear from our student athletes, obviously, but I'm going to get started with the chatting with some of our coaches. And to start us off, the head coach, Chris Rodriguez. C-Rod, how you doing?
I'm great, Zach. It's great. Yeah, exactly what you said, man. It's been it's crazy that it's been a year already.
It's really nuts. I am very excited to see what you guys are bringing to the table this year. It's your second full season. You're also the interim head coach in 2020. I mean, this has got to be like the most unconventional coaching tenure of all time. Like, you take over after Garco leaves, there's that, then there's COVID, and now you're into your second full campaign. What's the run been like for you here? It's been unconventional, to say the least.
No, I love that word, the unconventional part, for sure. It's been a trial. It's one of those things that I kind of feel like I don't know what coaching is like without COVID. So with that, it's been fun this year of having a lot less restrictions when it comes down to it, and we are looking forward to it. But yeah, unconventional is definitely the word of it. This has been our first year that we've actually had the full coaching staff for the fall, even though we've had 2 other seasons. So it's been kind of a unique but bittersweet in the long run also.
You open your season Friday at home versus Northern Colorado. Give us a little preview as to what we can expect from your guys this year.
I think our guys are, they're ready, they're excited. I think this team has the opportunity to do some things. We are definitely more athletic across the board. I really like the depth we have on the mound this year, comprised of what was in the past. The offense will be charged by a handful of returners plus a couple new transferring guys. So it's a good mix of new, old, and we're just excited to get this thing going against Colorado.
Where do you think the strengths of your team will be?
I think we should pitch and play D will be our absolute strengths. I think it gives us a chance to be in basically every single game. If we can minimize the amount of mistakes we do on the defense side and just eliminate those mistakes, we should be on the top of a lot of games, I hope.
What do you feel has become the identity of your program in your 2+ years of stewardship?
Grit and grind. These guys just absolutely grind everything. I mean, we don't make excuses. We don't do any of that. These guys have really bought into that as a characteristic. So we work hard on the field. We work hard off the field. And so the grinding of what these players do on a day-to-day basis, and they've persevered, and it's been fun watching them develop through that and watching them manifest and become the young men that they are.
How's recruiting been for you? And take us through the process of the last couple of years of having to recruit. I know we talked about it in our previous Tiger Talks, but it's worth talking about again, I think, because we've still been in this thing, and there's still been, restrictions and hardships along the way. So take us through it from your perspective.
Recruiting right now, we've actually made a little swing. So in the past, we've been really heavy inside California, especially a couple of years ago when basically I was the only coach really on staff for most of it. And so when we're looking at it, this year we've really made a big push to adventure out. We've got commits coming in this 22 class from basically Ohio, Florida, Nevada, obviously California. So we're kind of spreading our wings out and trying to get our brand out throughout the entire country and start recruiting nationally, along with trying to stay within the California ranks also.
This is kind of an oddball type question, but I'm really curious if there's there've been any trickle down effects because of what's been going on at the major league / professional level with, all the adjustments and the pitch clock. And, I know at high A last year was low A, you couldn't throw over to first more than I think twice or 3 times. I know in AAA this year, we're going to have an automated strike zone. So there's a lot going on at the top level of baseball that I don't know if it's going to trickle down, but has it trickled down for you guys?
It's trickled down a little bit. I mean, not to the realm of, in order to introduce a lot of the stuff that the big league squads are doing, it's going to take a lot more technology at the college level, which basically equates to expenses. But the things such as a pitch clock. So each pitcher now is on a 20-second pitch clock. When there's runners on base, if they come set on that rubber and they step off and do not attempt to pick off a base, it's a violation, and each pitcher will get 1 violation. And then after that, it becomes a ball. So it changes some of those things. So if like that pitcher is on the mound, it's a little bit uncomfortable with a certain pitch and with a runner on base, you have to either not step off or just try to pick. We don't have numbers of picks, but you can just, if you step off, it's a violation. But if you step off and do a pick attempt, it's not a violation. So it's kind of a gray area. It's going to cause a lot of conflicts, I think. But I understand what they're doing. They're trying to speed the game up.
What are lastly on this, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, as from a baseball perspective, I'm an old school guy. I don't know if you're the same, but what are your thoughts on what's going on?
My thoughts are, I understand what they're doing, but I think there's got to be some gray area and some interpretation of kind of what goes on. Basically, we teach our pitchers stop their feet, right? So if the runner's feet are continually moving, they're not to pitch until they stop their feet. So if the runners are continually shuffling off, we're supposed to stop their feet. And so that could take longer than the 20-second rules. And basically it avoids the step off, right? So just step off, freeze them, make them go back. So basically not allowing them to get the best jump if they're a base stealer. So we got to manipulate some things in that, but honestly, I think our guys can handle it and that they'll deal with it in the right way. We just know to step off. All you got to do is fake throw and it doesn't cause a violation. You don't have to throw. You can just step off and fake throw.
Yeah, really interesting stuff. And I'm fascinated to see where the game's going to go and for you guys, how it's going to trickle down on the collegiate level. Want to chat with a couple of your assistants here. I just bring you up to see, is Ben okay to talk? I know we're having some audio difficulties with him before. Are you there, Ben?
I should be.
Okay. Was it you that was having some trouble before? Okay. Well, yeah, definitely want to chat. Definitely want to chat with you if we can. So Ben Beekner, are you in your second season?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
First.
I just wanted to be sure. I think the website still says you're first, but you are in your second season. So I remember chatting with you last year. But how did your first season go?
It went well. No, I mean, it jumping in, and when I did, it was an opportunity, a great opportunity that I'm very grateful for. So looking forward to another one, and it was a great getting to know all these guys that are returning, and looking forward to doing it again. Better.
Sure. Before you got specific, you spent 10 seasons at Santa Rosa Junior College. What was the transition like for you going from JUCO to D1?
I mean, baseball is baseball to me. I mean, the game is the same. The only difference will be dealing with guys for 2 years instead of dealing with guys for 4, and those relationships that you build and kind of work on. So I mean, that's kind of the what I'm trying to figure out in that whole transition. So but the game of baseball and teaching all that stuff is it's all the same. It's the fun stuff, and these guys are great receivers of it all, and they want to learn. It's been a fun little ride so far. So we'll see what we can do.
What were your responsibilities in game?
Coaching third, defensive positioning.
So you did coach third.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
How about off the field? As far as in the office and elsewhere.
Coaching the infielders, helping Coach Rodriguez with the practice plans and all that stuff. And I mean, we all do a lot of different things, and we all just try to get the job done, man. It's kind of what you do, but yeah.
What do you lastly, what are you most excited about for this upcoming season?
I'm excited for how hard these guys worked all fall in the weight room and out in practice and how hard we worked, and for them to just now go out and play the game and show what they've been working on and put it to the test. So that's kind of what I'm excited about, seeing these guys get to go out and have the opportunity and what they've created and how hard they've worked, and looking forward to seeing what they can do now with the test.
Cool, man. Well, good luck this season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it. Dan, you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there you are. There's so many of like the same looking squares on my screen. So I like to look at the squares. I'm talking to the person. So how you doing, man?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. So Dan Jaffe, you're in your third year, right?
Second.
So you are in your second. Okay. So we're kind of all over the place. I tried as best I could to figure out what was a year behind and what wasn't. But second year, you came from Georgia Tech. What was your first year like?
It was interesting. It was up and down. But for me, some of the biggest things I take out of it is not so much the results that happen, but it's a learning process for everybody, because that first season, I mean, we're still dealing with COVID. We were still dealing with, a lot of the things that come with essentially rebuilding the program from COVID, and all of baseball rebuilding it from COVID. For some of the biggest things I was able to take out of it is just learning about a lot of these arms individually. Because I, especially coming in, I first got in January. I met, probably the entire pitching staff in January for the first time, in person at least. I obviously, talked to them on the phone a little bit and got to know them, but in January was the first time I really got to know them and meet them. So we had 5 weeks to cram a lot of philosophical ideals and learning of each other into one time. So I guess having that time really, it was a big stepping stone to what I'm able to do with a lot of these guys this season, because we have a lot of returning guys on the pitching staff, and so we're able to take, now a year and a half of knowing each other, year and a half of knowing each other to really kind of build what we're trying to build this season.
Sure. So you handled, do you work exclusively with the pitchers, or is that mostly where you are?
Yeah, my on-field duties are the pitchers. I help out with the catchers here and there, but my on-field duties rest with the pitching staff.
Do you have a hand at all in recruiting, and take us through what you're doing off the field?
Yeah, so off the field, that's pretty much my biggest responsibility. I do handle kind of the background of all the recruiting stuff. And, like Coach Rodriguez said, we are trying to go national here. So it's a lot bigger of a template that we get to use on the recruiting side of it. I look through all the squares here beforehand, and we got from commits to signees to, parents of players that we're actively still recruiting and hoping to commit here soon, hopefully, on this Zoom call. And they're coming from all over the place. Like Coach Rodriguez said, it's Florida. We're up in the Northeast and New York and New Jersey, down in Texas, Cincinnati, Northwest, Southwest. We're kind of moving everywhere right now.
For sure. That's it's pretty wild. And I know it's a big leap. And speaking of big leaps, just take us through the difference, going for a program like Georgia Tech, where I'm sure, there's just a lot more resources, going to a program like Pacific, where I'm sure you have to be a lot more, and all the coaches and staff members have to be a lot more hands-on. Can you take us through what you've noticed the differences are?
Honestly, coaching's coaching. That's what it comes down to. Coaching's coaching, baseball's baseball. It doesn't matter where you're at or what you have or what you're doing. It's a matter of, I mean, at Georgia Tech, we had an ACC football team. So there's a lot more money in the pot to buy certain things that you're able to have more tools, but coaching's coaching. And you know what? These players, what I can say is the guys that we have here in these uniforms, they absorb every single piece that you're willing to throw at them. And that's kind of the beauty of having guys, the guys that we have in this program is they want to learn, like Beek said, and they want to get better and they want to be a part of their own development. It's not just, I don't go up to a pitcher and just say, hey, all right, you're doing this now. And that's the end of it. You have to be able to communicate with these guys. And it doesn't matter if you're at Georgia Tech with the New York Yankees or Pacific, or if you're coaching 11-year-olds, you have to be able to communicate to them and talk to them on, as a conversation, not even as I'm your coach and you're the player and I tell you what to do, so honestly, no matter where you're at, coaching's coaching.
Sure. Well, hey man, good luck this season. And we're looking forward to watching your pitching staff for sure.
Appreciate it.
You got it. Last but not least, Garrett, Gallier, right?
Oh, that's great, Zach. I love it.
C-Rod tried to tell me it was pronounced Gallier, but I had to go back and correct and just make sure that wasn't the case.
Perfect.
I'm just kidding, by the way. I wanted to know if it was Gallier. I didn't want to mess it up, but you're in are you third season, right?
Yes, this is the third season. I've been here with C-Rod since he was the assistant in the transition to interim days and the COVID days, and we're chugging through, man, and we're excited for this year. I'm sure everybody's touched on already. It's a little bit more normalcy this year, which is refreshing.
Sure. Take us through some of your responsibilities and where your focuses are.
I'm a jack of all trades, right? No, day to day, just a little bit of everything, man. Primarily taking care of the field, making sure our dirt's kept. It's all our responsibility. Assisting with recruiting, hitting, base running, outfield, primarily outfielders of practice. But I think one of the best parts I appreciate most about this program is all the different types of work that I get to complete and do on a day-to-day basis, right? Because, you come in, you get the job done. Love it.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
So as a player, I played at the University of South Alabama. And then when I was finished playing, I started my coaching career at Concordia University in Portland, Oregon. It was a Division II school. I was there for 4 years as the recruiting coordinator, got my master's, and more than anything, I worked for a guy who kind of, as a young coach, kind of gave me the keys to the castle and allowed me to get a lot of experience really early on in my career, which is something that I will always just have the utmost appreciation and respect for,
For sure. Tell us what you're most excited about this season with this group of guys.
Might be a little different than what everybody else has to say, but I'm excited for that first time that we come out and we get punched in the mouth, and that first time we respond, right? You come out, okay, whatever. Team puts up a 3-spot on you in the first or second inning, whatever. Let's go play our game. Let's respond, and let's win.
Love it. I love it. Well, good luck this season, man.
Thank you, sir.
C-Rod, before I jump in with your players, just tell us a little bit about your staff from your perspective and kind of what they've meant to you in the time you've been here. You're on mute, bud.
They've done a really good job on the transition side of things. I mean, last year being the anomaly. I mean, Ben, yeah, he was here last year, but he wasn't even hired yet. He wasn't here for the opening series last year. He didn't get hired until March 1st. So after our second series. And so having him here has been a great benefit. He's a master of helping organize practice plans, understanding what we need to do on a day-to-day basis to get these guys ready, finding the elements of the game that we need to sharpen. He's really good at that. So he's been a good asset to have in that field. And then obviously his target, I mean, you probably ask him, but he won't say much about it, but he really stresses a lot of the mental game and really talks a lot about what it is to just be a good human being, a good leader, and how to be a good teammate. And so he really dives into that area. So that's one of his strong suits. And now he's starting to branch out because he's done a good job there of tying him into the recruiting bases and just, again, we're wearing multiple hats. Garrett de Gallier who's been here with me since day one. Guy's a rock star. I mean, anything that needs to be done, you just ask him, he gets it done. I mean, it doesn't matter what I ask, it's just done. High energy guy, brings a lot of emotion, kind of brings that characteristic. So it's just a guy who's different than the rest of us because he brings something so much more. And a lot of that is that energy, and it's fun to watch him get fired up on good plays, fun to see him get fired up on bad plays. But he definitely brings that high energy level to this coaching staff for sure. Having Coach Jaffe here allows me to focus on one side of the game a little bit more than worrying about the pitching side. It's like last fall, it was Coach Garrett and I I had to try to run the pitching staff, the hitting, the defense, and I'm just fortunate to just say, Jaffe, go handle the pitching. And he's done an incredible job developing these arms, not just developing them, but keeping them healthy, which I think is key. Fundamentally impacting their throwing programs has been an asset. Watching the way that he interacts with them, the way that the guys respond to him, the interactions with him has allowed me to free up and give him more and more responsibility. And then the recruiting side, the guy, it's endless. I mean, it never stops. We talk sometimes 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and he's like, hey, I just got off the phone with so-and-so. And so it's just an endless process, and he's relentless when it comes down to it. And so having these guys around us is really sharpening up the program and allowing us to set this thing forth for the future. So I'm honored, and I mean, establishing this staff has been something I've taken a lot of pride into, and watching these guys on a day-to-day basis. It's like, I don't work. I mean, I come here, I coach. This is a joy coming here every single day with this coaching staff, with this university, with these players. I feel like it shouldn't even be called work, just because it's a joy to be able to do this day in and day out. And I don't even count hours, right? I mean, I do for NCAA reasons, but like work-wise, hours don't matter.
That's awesome, man. And I wish you the best of success, and your staff the best success. It sounds like you guys are all on the same page and pulling the same rope, and that can only lead to great things. So looking forward to what you guys have in store this year. Without further ado, we're going to meet the players now. What's going to happen is Bree is going to unmute them by class. So we'll start with the freshman class. You'll hear the players introduce themselves by name, where they're from, position, and jersey number. And then I will talk with a member of each class at the end of their introductions. So if you want to go ahead, Bree, and unmute the freshman class, and we can get that started.
They're good. You guys can unmute yourselves.
Yeah, do I start?
Yep.
So my name is Daniel Barrera. I'm from Chino Hills, California. I'm a right-handed pitcher, and I'm number 16.
My name's Jared Wood. I'm from just outside Melbourne, Australia. I'm an infielder, and I'm number 17.
Hi, I'm Austin McKinney. I'm from Woodland, California. I am a pitcher, and I'm number 21.
I'm Caden Duke. I'm from Tracy, California. I'm a pitcher, first baseman, and I'm number 29.
I'm Andrew Gadara. I'm from Reno, Nevada. I'm a catcher, and I'm number 32.
My name's Owen McWilliam. I'm an outfielder from Seattle, Washington, and my jersey number is 36.
Hi, my name is David Andrus. I'm from Pea Ridge, Arkansas, and I'm a pitcher, and I'm number 48.
All right, those are the freshmen, and I'm going to chat now with Andrew Gadara, who is a catcher from Reno. How's it going, man?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. So my first question to you is last year was my first year broadcasting games for the Reno Aces, and I basically spend the summer up there. So where's the place I need to go eat in Reno this summer?
The place to eat. Shoot. What are you thinking? Dinner or lunch or what?
Anything. I'm game for anything.
Man.
I mean, I hit up Noble Pie a bunch. I mean, those wings are fire. The pizza's great too.
Noble Pie is super good. And then if you've heard of Pizza Nova, that place is money to go to too.
Yeah. I had Pizza Nova late at night, actually. That's a place is open till 3 a.m. and it was
that place is good.
Just what you need after a night game and you want to grub. What brought you to Pacific? Tell us about what drew you to this program.
So I was actually playing for a summer travel team called NorCal, and I was just kind of looking for a school to play at over the last couple summers. And then basically with COVID and everything, like we couldn't get recruited. We weren't able to have coaches in the stands or anything. So basically all we had was like our stuff on Twitter, and our coaches were helping us out. And one of the coaches I had actually just started posting some of like the players' highlights. And so we started posting some of the stuff we were doing and some of the video of me. And Coach C-Rod ended up kind of getting in touch with me on Twitter, and I reached out to him. And then we just kind of started talking back and forth. And then basically that kind of led on to me basically committing here and coming here.
Yeah, this is going to be fascinating because you're part of a crop of athletes that we've actually talked about, no matter the sport, in all sports the last couple of years, about, hey, how are these kids going to be able to get noticed in high school and coming up, and how are they going to get to college, because you're in the middle of the pandemic and normally, you get recruited, someone sees you in person playing and that's that. But I feel like with your generation coming up now, it's going to be the COVID generation of kids that weren't seen in person. A lot of you weren't seen. So did you have any like apprehensions, reservations when you were, a couple of years ago trying to figure out where you're going to go to college and how you're going to get recruited?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it was pretty stressful, especially just because like my junior year of high school was kind of right when it started. And at that point was like, your junior year is supposed to be, one of the most important years to get recruited, one of the, most basically just crucial times for coaches to see you. And then when that got shut down, everything just got like super, super stressful. And like, we weren't sure what was going to happen. We weren't sure if, Division Ones were going to be available, or even if JUCOs were going to be available. And so honestly, I really didn't know what was going to happen or how I was going to go on from there. And luckily, I ended up being able to play for just on a really good program that had a lot of connections with college coaches, and basically they're high level and coaches on their end too that help players get to colleges. So I really just heavily relied on them. But yeah, no, definitely it was tough. And as far as like knowing where I was going to go, I really honestly didn't know where I was going to go or how it was going to end up.
Yeah, that's really wild. Tell us a little bit about your game. I know you're a catcher. I know catchers, I've talked to a lot of them over the years, and each one of them seems to have a very different story about how they started catching. Like I talked to a guy on the Aces last year. He was like, I just like putting the pads on when I was a kid. And that's how he ends up becoming a professional catcher, and he goes up to AAA, and he's like, was our best defensive catcher. But how did it happen for you?
So my brother is, I have two brothers, but one of my brothers is 10 years older than me. And basically, for whatever reason, he was just a bigger dude. He played football, played linebacker. And so he was always just kind of one of those bigger guys. And so he basically caught like all through his life up into high school. And then he caught in college too. And when I was super young, I obviously just wanted to follow his footsteps. I wore the same number he did. I played the same position he did. And I just basically wanted to pretty much be like him. He was pretty much my role model for as far as, baseball goes and everything. And so he kind of got me into catching, and then my dad kind of pushed me that way. And it was just nice having him as a catcher too, to be able to teach me. He was 10 years older than me, so he could always do drills with me and work with me on catching. And so from a young age, I basically just started it.
That's cool, man. Lastly, how's your time been so far on campus at Pacific?
It's been great. I mean, obviously definitely been a big transition from high school, just as far as like living on your own, going to your own classes. And then having the biggest transition for me has just been the schedule change, having like a super busy schedule, having to deal with, dealing with academics, but also being able to stay on top of feeling good athletically, staying on top of all that. But I mean, it's been fun. Honestly, everybody on the team has been so great to me since I stepped on campus. They've been really great leaders to me. They've kind of brought me along with them. They haven't, pushed me in the dirt or left me behind. They brought me along with them and basically just taught me the ropes and have been super great guys to me. So it's been good.
Well, we're happy to hear that, man. Good luck moving forward in your collegiate career. We're excited to watch you soon.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You got it. All right, sophomores, you can unmute yourselves and start your introductions.
Hi, I'm Colby Canales. I'm from Orange, California. I'm an infielder and I'm number 8.
I'm Jacob Weiss. I'm from Atwater, California. I'm a catcher and I wear number 10.
I'm Chase Graves. I'm from Clayton, California. I'm an outfielder and I wear number 15.
I'm Chaz Myers from Antioch, California. I play middle infield and my jersey number is number 20.
Hello, I'm Telly Hill. I'm from Pittsburgh, California. I play left field and I am number 25.
Awesome. Thank you all. And we're going to chat here with Chaz, infielder from Heritage High School. So you went to high school in Brentwood, but do you say you're from Brentwood or Antioch?
I say I'm from Antioch because I lived in Antioch, but I did go to high school in Brentwood, California. Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure, like, I've lived here now for almost 20 years, but I don't know, like, if there's like an Antioch Brentwood thing, if you prefer one or the other. So just want to make sure, but, Brentwood High School or Heritage High School in Brentwood, where you were first team all league as a senior in 2019, you hit 405. Tell us about that year.
That might've been my junior year, but senior year was
your junior year.
Yeah. But yeah, junior year was fun. We had a great group of guys at Heritage, and we ended up falling short to De La Salle, which is still pretty bitter. But yeah, it was a great season overall.
So it's not normally do I bring up specific moments in these guys' specific careers, because I don't usually see, like, I'm not on hand for them, but I actually called one of your best moments last year. I was doing the game. It was Pacific Fresno State on March 17th. And the Tigers won 3-2, and you had the game-winning double in that one. Do you remember that at bat? Because I certainly do. And in fact, I did a handful of games last year, and that's probably the moment that stands out for me of all the moments I had doing those games. But that was a clutch moment for a freshman. Can you take us through that at bat?
Yeah, I for sure remember that at bat. It's kind of funny because I wasn't even supposed to play that game.
I remember.
Yeah, our shortstop ended up, I don't remember if it was an injury or an illness, or he ended up not playing that game, and I filled in for him. But yeah, taking over that at bat, it's I think there was 2 outs, runner on second or third. Just trying not to let the moment get too big, just focus on all the work that I've put in, and just trust my approach. And I ended up getting the job done.
Was it a 2-strike pitch? Do you remember?
I think he got first pitch strike and it was second pitch curveball. So it was 1.
Yeah, I think I remember you were behind in the count, which made it even more impressive. What's it been like for you playing close to home?
It's been awesome. It was a big decision in my recruiting process, was staying close to home so my family could watch me play, and I don't regret it at all. I love being at Pacific, and I love the coaching staff here and the players that I play with every single day.
Cool, man. We love having you. Good luck this season, Chaz.
Thank you, Zach.
For sure. All right, juniors, do your thing.
All right. My name's Grant Stevens. I'm from Elk Grove, California, and my jersey's number is 2.
My name is Mark Warren. From San Francisco, right-handed pitcher, and I'm number 11.
My name is Aiden Selfridge. I'm from San Jose, California. I'm a corner outfielder, and I wear number 19.
My name's Jackson Ertz. I'm from Danville, California.
Who's that?
And I wear number 24.
My name's Tyler Stout. I'm from Turlock, California. I'm right-handed pitcher, and I wear number 28.
Hi, I'm Brandon Motherall. I'm from Sacramento, California. I play outfield here, and I'm number 34.
I'm Hunter Hayes. I'm from Citrus Heights, California. I'm a right-handed pitcher, and I'm number 40.
I'm Quinlan Sweeney. I'm from Vacaville, California. I'm a right-handed pitcher, and I'm number 44.
I'm Brandon DeWayne. I'm from South Milpitas, California, and I'm a second baseman, and my number is 47.
I'm Thomas Cavello. I'm from Danville, California. I'm a third baseman, and my jersey number is 12.
Awesome, and glad Thomas could be here. We know he had class, so glad he was able to join us last minute. So let's talk to Marv Guerin, pitcher out of St. Ignatius Prep in San Francisco. How you doing, Marv?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing well. It's your first season with the Orange and Black. You're coming from Seattle. What were the last 2 years? What were the last 2 years like for you in Seattle? Obviously, a strange couple of years for everyone. But what were they like for you?
Yeah, so my first year here was actually last year. But when I was up at Seattle, it was a tricky time. Kind of the pandemic was kind of starting up there. So things started shutting down pretty quick. So it got pretty dicey towards the end, but got out of there all right and ended up here, which was probably the best decision of my life.
Tell us about that decision.
After I hopped in the transfer portal, just kind of looking for a place to play. Didn't play too much when I was up at Seattle, so I kind of just wanted an opportunity to get on the field, and I thought this was the best place to do it, to develop as a player and still get better in the classroom as well. The coaches were great and everything, and it was close to home, so it was a pretty easy decision.
The decision to transfer and then ultimately getting to Pacific, you obviously reflect back on that and you're happy that you made that decision, right?
Yep, exactly.
What was the last year at Pacific like for you?
It was my first full year as a pitcher, so kind of trying to learn how to do everything that pitchers do, not really having to do both positions anymore because I was a two-way over at Seattle. So it was a big learning curve once I got here, but I thought it went pretty well, all things considered, and excited for this upcoming season.
I've talked to a bunch of guys who've made that transition going from position player to pitcher. The one that stands out in my mind is Sean Doolittle. I know it was a long time ago I saw Sean come through the Stockton Ports as a first baseman, and he transformed, went on to be a pitcher, and he kind of told me about the process. But what's the most difficult aspect of doing that?
I think it's kind of the focus level of all the little details that you don't really realize are part of pitching. Kind of when you're playing shortstop, you go up to pitch, it's kind of just throw as hard as you can, throw strikes. That's pretty much it. But once I became a full-time pitcher, I was really able to dive deep into all the mechanics, all the metrics of what makes a pitcher great. And I think it was tough at first, but I'm starting to kind of get a hang of it, and excited to see what we could put on the field this season.
What kind of pitcher are you? You're a power pitcher? Are you I don't want to say finesse because that kind of sounds, it's just a bad connotation, but what's your bread and butter?
I'll go to the changeup 99% of the time if all goes wrong. But yeah, try to get ahead with the fastball, mix in the changeup, just trying to keep hitters off balance. Not like one of the harder throwers on the team necessarily, but yeah, kind of just mixing locations, mixing speeds, keeping hitters off balance is where I find success.
Have you always had a feel for the changeup because that's such a field pitch?
Yeah, so I've been changing grips with the fastball and curveball all my life, but the changeup's kind of stayed consistent. The consistent grip. I watched a lot of Tim Lincecum growing up, so I've always wanted to throw that split changeup, and kind of picked it up when he joined the Giants in 2007, 2008, and been throwing it ever since.
Awesome, man. Well, best of luck to you, and hope you have a great season on the bump.
All right. Thank you.
You got it. All right. Last but not least, the seniors.
Hey everybody, I'm Ben Nemavant. I am a senior outfielder here. I wear number 1 and I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Hey guys, my name is Jackson Vaughn. I'm a right-handed pitcher from Bakersfield, California, and I wear number 3.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Lee. I'm from Pleasanton, California. I'm a catcher and I wear number 5.
Hi, I'm Elijah Birdsong. I'm from Benicia, California. I'm a right-handed pitcher and I wear number 13.
I'm Zack Patterson from Livermore, California. I'm a right-handed pitcher and I wear number 23.
I'm John Fortner from Portland, Oregon. I'm a right-handed pitcher and I wear number 26.
Hello, I'm James Arakawa. I'm from Walnut, California, and I play shortstop, and my number is 27.
My name is Michael DeFilippi. I'm from San Diego, California. I'm a left-handed pitcher, and I wear number 43.
Hi, my name is Dylan Pockheiser. I'm from Pleasanton, California. I'm a right-handed pitcher, and I am number 51.
My name is Jimmy McClanagan. I'm an outfielder from Modesto, California, and my number is number 4.
Hi, my name is Hunter Skilport. I'm from Gilroy, California. I'm a left-handed pitcher, and I am number 33.
All right, the seniors, and we're going to chat with Michael DeFilippi, who's a left-handed pitcher out of Central Catholic High School in San Diego. How's it going, man?
What's up, Zach? How's it going?
Going well. Can you believe you've arrived at now your 4th year at Pacific?
No, not at all. The time goes by so quick. Everyone says it, but when it's actually happening, I can't believe how fast time's been flying by.
Yeah, man, it goes. The older you get, the faster it goes. Trust me. What have the 4 years been like for you?
These 4 years have honestly been some of the most fun and impactful 4 years of my life so far. Coming in as a freshman, kind of like Andrew said, like you got a lot to learn. Kind of, how college goes, how baseball goes, kind of like trying to figure out how to maintain academics and baseball. But then, after that freshman year, everything has felt like it's been clicking pretty well. I love, the university. It's a really special place. And yeah, I'm thankful to be able to hang out with, the team and get to work every day. It's just, I know these are going to be some of the best years of my life, and, I'm just trying to have fun and, have a great time throughout the whole thing. So
sure. From a baseball standpoint, how have you grown in your time here?
Oh yeah. So as a left-handed pitcher, I feel like my mental game has definitely grown a lot since my freshman year. Coach Jaff does a great job talking to us about how important the mental side of baseball is. Not just Jaff, also C-Rod, Beak, and Garrett. But, just the importance of knowing that no matter who's in the box, it doesn't matter what team you're facing, what hitter it is, everything that our pitching staff has is head and shoulders above anyone else in the nation, and we'll be able to get anyone out. And bringing that mindset to every game and taking each game, like not only game by game, but, C-Rod says it all the time, breaking it down, inning by inning, out by out, pitch by pitch. That's something that comes with time and experience on the mound and, on the field. And that's something I take pride in, like being able to do that to the best of my ability. And that's where I find success. And I know a lot of others too, so.
Awesome. What are you most looking forward to about this season?
I'm looking forward to that WCC tournament, baby. We got so much talent on this team, and we're all ready. We expect to be there. And so that's what we got on our minds right now, and we're going to go get it.
Sweet. I hope that comes to pass. Lastly, what would you tell anyone considering playing baseball at Pacific, considering coming to Pacific to play?
Oh yeah, I would say, it's the best decision that you can make in your life. I mean, not only is it a D1 program, but, we're in a very competitive conference in the WCC. And, you know, we play some other big time schools, you know, like this year we're going to Oklahoma. But what I'd tell some players is, you know, Stockton is a great city. And basically, you know, with school and baseball, if you put your mind to both those things, the sky's the limit. And with the coaching we have here and all the resources with the whole university, you know, it's a place where you can succeed in everything you put your mind to. So I've had a great 4 years, and, you know, everyone who's ready to transition to becoming a Tiger, you know, it's the best thing that you can do. So
happy to hear that. Happy to hear that, man. Congratulations on a great run, and hopefully you cap it with an appearance in the WCC tournament this year. We're looking forward to seeing it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got it. So those are your 2022 Pacific Tigers on the diamond. And we wish them the best of luck. Is Shelby here?
Yeah, I'm right here, Zach.
What's up, Shelby? How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So we're gonna chat for a bit with Shelby, who was drafted in the 18th round by the Rockies in 2018, from right up the road in Linden. And how you doing? First of all, where are you right now? And what's your plan with this lockout? I know the minor leagues are going to get started, but what's your plan right now, and what are they putting you through?
Yeah, so right now I'm down in Scottsdale, Arizona. Moved down here in the 2019 off season just because the possibilities down here are just a lot better. You know, you can train at the facility. You're around baseball guys all the time. Right now I'm training at a facility that was actually started by a guy who's from the Sacramento area, Elk Grove area. So training with a lot of the NorCal guys. I think there's like 35 guys that are working out there right now, and about 18 of us are from NorCal. So it's a special little group, and we're getting after it each day. And then I'll report to spring training on March 5th. And then from there, it's go time.
Okay. Do you have, and I know this is kind of impossible to know before camp starts, but do you have an idea where you're going to land this year as far as the level?
I mean, talks are probably, hopefully AA, which is in Hartford, Connecticut. That's kind of what the goal is. And then, but we'll see once camp breaks.
Yeah, I was going to say last year, and it sounds weird to say that you were with High A Spokane.
Yeah,
which is interesting because IA was always in the Cal League, but
yeah,
you know, baseball shifted everything and shook everything up. But you had 20 appearances, and in 19 and a third innings, you had 29 strikeouts to 8 walks. Like the numbers were really good, and a 2.79 ERA. Take us through last year and what was working for you.
Yeah, so at the beginning of the year, I played the first month and some change. I was our closer. Had some success in the role, and then, you know, I was facing one of my buddies that I grew up playing against and everything, and I tried to get a little nasty with the slider, overdid it, and had a grade 2 strain in my shoulder. Took 11 weeks to come back, and then at the end of the year, it was probably one of the most special teams I've been on in pro ball. We were 14 and a half games out of playoffs come like July 15th, and we ended up making a run. Wow. Won 42 of our last 60 games. We were the best team in minor league baseball the last 60 games of the year. So that was fun. We came up short of the championship, but I mean, it was a good time regardless.
That's awesome, man. That's a special run, especially in the minor leagues, like with so much transition on the roster that doesn't happen every day. So I'm glad you realize how special that was. What have you developed any other pitches since you've been at Pacific? Like, how have you grown jumping from Pacific to pro ball?
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. I'm still the sinker slider guy that I was at Pacific, you know, fine tune some things here and there. But I mean, my time at Pacific really developed me of kind of who I am as a pitcher, my identity. I mean, a lot of it, stems from what Mike New taught me my freshman year. Once he made me a pitcher, once he sat me down and told me there's 2 options we could go. We could either be an okay college 2-way, or you could be a really good pitcher only. So he sat me down and we kind of made the decision to become a PO. And from then on, I've just kind of kept the same identity and kind of ran with it.
Cool. So you probably know I work in pro ball myself, and I feel like the year you were drafted in 2018, it's like almost a bygone era because so much has changed, you know, between COVID and between Major League Baseball taking over the minor leagues and the realignment, you know, and now we're talking about the pitch clock and the throwing over to first. What's all that been like for you? And does it feel like going back to 2018 in your mind is like going back a longer ways than it actually is? Because for me, it absolutely feels that way.
Yeah, definitely. From the baseball aspect side of it, I've kind of been lucky and avoided all those little tinkering rules. I mean, we had a step off rule in Spokane, but to be honest, I haven't picked off in 2 years. So not a big pickoff guy. So if they want to steal, you just got to kind of beat them to the plate. But other than that, I mean, baseball really hasn't changed much for me personally. But obviously all that stuff like in the locker room, off the field, COVID stuff, testing, testing 2-3 times a week. That's all changed, and that's kind of unfortunate. But I mean, to play the game of baseball, you kind of got to do what you got to do.
For sure. Tell us a little bit about how the Rockies develop their pitchers, because if you go from organization to organization, every org has a different philosophy and a different way of doing things. How do the Rockies operate with pitchers?
So it's a little different than a lot of people. I mean, we're not like, if you go to the Dodgers, the Astros, all these big market teams, the Yankees, the Red Sox, they're going to have all these unbelievable high tech, devices, which we're starting to get all those kinds of things, but they just have the money to hire crews and staff that, we don't really have right now, but we're slowly getting there. But being in the Rockies organization, I mean, it works for me because I am a sinker slider guy, so I don't have super high spin rate and I don't throw the four seams up and the curveballs and all that stuff. But it plays into the game that they like, and that's kind of all that matters. And kind of just be better at what I have instead of be someone who I'm not.
I was going to say, the Rockies is an interesting one for me because obviously they're grooming pitchers to go and pitch at Coors Field. And I know when, a few years back when Lancaster in the Cal League was the Rockies high A affiliate, they called it Coors Light, right? Because Lancaster is way up in the desert too, and the ball flew. But does that still kind of, I don't want to say hang over your head, but hang over the organization's head as, how they groom you?
Yeah, definitely. That's always going to be in the back of everyone's mind. From what they teach a lot of the time is down in the zone type stuff and changeups. I mean, because that in the altitude that, it's avoided. Throwing those pitches. I mean, obviously with sinkers, curveballs, you're going to lose depth on it being in altitude. Sliders, you're going to lose a little bit. So, I mean, there's things that they try to do to work their way around it. But yeah.
Last couple, has pro ball been as fun for you as you anticipated it would be, or has it been more of a grind than you thought it would be?
No, I mean, obviously it's a grind, but anything you do is going to be a grind. I mean, waking up to go to a 9 to 5 is going to be a grind. So, I mean, you just kind of got to thank the big man upstairs that you get the chance to wake up and go play baseball. But it's been some of the best times of my life. I mean, it's just, you wake up and you get to go hang out with your friends every day and play a game. So, I mean, I can't really complain.
Sure. And lastly, what would you tell the younger guys on this Zoom, the guys that are in their first or second year with this program?
Yeah. So, I mean, your time there goes by quick. I mean, the 3 years there, I was there. They were fun. They were special. But the biggest thing I would say is to take it game by game and weekend by weekend. Don't look so far. I felt like when I was there, we were always constantly looking forward. Like, we have to do this. We have to make the conference tournament. We haven't done it in this amount of years. We've never made it, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. But it's just, you got to live weekend to weekend because that's the only thing you can control. I mean, and when we started to do that my junior year, we kind of turned our season around, beat the number 12 team in the country in Indiana, split a series with them, split a series with Arizona State. And that's kind of something that Sintani taught us as a pitching staff. I mean, quit looking so far ahead and just kind of be where your 10 toes are.
Love that bit of advice. Well, I know you said, you're hoping for Double A. I hope I see you in Albuquerque this year, man.
Yeah,
that's what I hope at some point. So if you are there, I'll come find you and we'll jam a little bit. Shelby, thanks so much, man.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Of course. C-Rod, you still here?
Yes, sir.
There he is. All right. We want to just talk a little bit before we let you all go about some of the needs for the program moving forward. And I know you have a couple of things you wanted to touch on as far as how we all could help push the program forward and be on that rope that you guys are pulling right now. So tell us what some of the needs are, and we'll see if we can get that done.
Yeah. Before I jump into that, I just want to throw out a big thank you to Shelby Lackey of joining us in on this call, and he kind of suits that up. Once Tiger, always a Tiger kind of guy, and he's been a big help. And it's a guy that I talk to sometimes, and just to check in to make sure he's doing all right. So project wise, yes, I mean, Pacific's always trying to do, we're always trying to stay up and current of what's going on inside of the world of technology. The start of it is we've got a few big projects that we're trying to look for into the future, such as upgrading our scoreboard, updating the stadium padding, just kind of making sure that Klein Family Field is a special place. It truly is, and trying to keep it up and making it one of the top facilities on the West Coast. I think the more that we do that, it shows the pride of what this university truly has. So that's kind of some of the projects. The other aspects that we're trying to reach out for currently is some of it is to aid in speed up. We talked about it earlier, speed of the game. There's a new signal calling device out, which is called Game Day Signals. It's actually been out to the games lately. We do a number grid system for our pitch calling. It kind of goes away from that and actually ends up being able to send a electronic number or a digital number to the player to correspond with the pitch calling, the offensive play. So we no longer have to yell out numbers across the field, and it actually speeds the play up. Since NCAA just allowed one-way electronical devices to be used, this is a way that we can try to stay our systems not being picked, speed of the game, tempos, and just kind of make things cleaner when it comes down to both defensive calling pitches and also the offensive signs. The other thing is staying up with technology with the radar guns. The new radar guns out now aid us in recruiting aspects when we're looking at spin rates, because the new radar guns now have spin rate pickups where basically aids us in profiling the arms that we're trying to look for on the recruiting base. Knowing which guys, what kind of bucket he fits, and what kind of the way that we see that he's going to work within the program. The biggest thing we don't want to do inside of our program is have everybody be the exact same. We want differential, especially in our arms, and the radar guns aid that when we're out recruiting to validate what we see along with the metrics. Then the other project we're trying to do is upgrade our batting cages a little bit. The safety equipment, the L screens, the netting, just making sure that that's staying current so our players are safe and that they have good experiences when they're out in the batting cages, so they're always protected.
Awesome. So I'm going to have Tim jump in. Before I do, Tim's going to let you know how you can go about helping with some of these things. But while he's doing that, if anybody has any questions and you want to jump in and we could do a Q&A, all you'd have to do is unmute yourself and jump in. You can direct your question to anybody you'd like. But I'm going to have Tim talk about how you can donate if you'd like, and then we'll throw it to a Q&A.
Thanks, Zach. Yeah, as we've done with some of our other virtual events, what we're going to do as soon as this, actually right now, is kick off a 48-hour giving campaign. As Chris mentioned, he's got those items that they'd like to raise some money for, the technology and the batting cage upgrades. And we're going to shoot. Our goal is going to be to try and raise $10,000 in the next 48 hours. And we've been lucky enough to have 4 donors come together and have provided $3,000 in matching funds. So as soon as we get to $3,000, those will be matched with another 3 to get us to 6, and then we just have to raise another $4,000 to get to our goal and hopefully surpass our goal. So Bree's going to go ahead. If you look in the chat, there'll be a direct link to that giving site, the Scale Funder page, and you can make a gift there. If you don't want to use your credit card and do it there, you can always send in a check. But it's really easy, and you could be able to track it during the 48 hours. Your name's on there, and it'll also list again the items that we're trying to cover to help the team and bring them a lot of success. So check the chat, and you can click on that link, and we'll go from there.
Awesome. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, I'm looking at the chat now and I see it there. So just go to the chat. It's a little bubble down below. I'm sure all of you know by now, but just click on that and you can find the link right there. Does anyone have any questions, any thoughts before the guys head off here? And if so, unmute yourself and just jump in and ask. Okay. I think we're good. C-Rod, anything else to add before we go?
No, to close it out, I just appreciate everybody joining us. I scrolled through it. There's a handful of recruits that actually kind of joined the conversation. So it was good to see those guys kind of in there. Again, anybody has any questions, feel free. There's kind of that open mic time. And I hope to see you guys out at Klein Family Field to watch these guys do what they love to do, and that's play the game of baseball.
And again, it's going to be on this Friday against Northern Colorado when the season gets underway. Cool. I think we're good to go. And again, the link to donate is in the chat window. So go there and click on that link, and we have the matching funds, and hopefully we can get this done for C-Rod and the guys. C-Rod, staff, players, appreciate all you guys, and we're wishing you the best of luck this season. We're going to be behind you as always, and go Tigers.
Thank you.
Zach, thank you so much for hosting and doing what you do, man.
You got it, man. Always a pleasure. Shelby, good luck this year, man.
Thank you. Y'all take care. Good luck.